providing a great cup of coffee and a better life for the blind and disabled. White Cane Coffee, because every cup makes a difference.
Have you ever wanted to play an instrument? The Warren Music Conservatory is the area's only choice for premier music education, with the area's top music instructors giving you fun and exciting music lessons for a variety of instruments and styles. The Music Conservatory also rents and repairs instruments of all types. And don't forget to stop in and check out our student bookstore for your musical supplies like strings, sticks, picks, and more. What are you waiting for? Stop dreaming. Start doing today.
A good Saturday morning to you, and welcome to White Cane Coffee presents Coffee and a Conversation on your daily local down here at White Cane Coffee. Got myself a fresh cup of dragon roast, and don't forget you can come on down here. And if you can't, you can get on DoorDash and order on DoorDash, or get your favorites right at whitecanecoffee.com. But I encourage you to get down today because they're making a chicken pot pie soup, and it smells delicious. So come on down to White Cane Coffee. And this Saturday, we're very pleased to be joined by Skyla Govier and Pam Nordine from the Blue Star Mothers. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us here this morning.
So, and I see you guys obviously out and about, all your different events, but for people who aren't familiar with it, just tell people a little bit what the Blue Star Moms are about.
The Blue Star Moms was created in 1942 by a man named Captain George Maine. And so it was during World War II that he saw that there was a need for military mothers to come together. So he put a coupon in an ad in Flint, Michigan, and he was overwhelmed with over 1,000 coupons. So that is where it all began. And we have now since become a congressionally chartered organization. We are a 501c3. And we are mothers of military children, active and reserves, guardsmen, and veterans as well. So what we do, our mission is to stand behind all of our military members, past and present, and to give them support.
Yep, go ahead, Pam.
We're also comprised of anybody in the community that wants to just join our organization as an associate member. So they don't necessarily have to have a military connection, but they can join us and be part of our group.
And so how many members do you have actively currently?
We have 23.
And for people that see you out and about in the community, I know we have a couple things we want to talk about, but what are some of the sort of things that we have going on?
So coming up here, November 18th, we have a care packaging event that we are going to be sending 100 care packages to our deployed troops all over the world. And so we would love to have anybody come and help pack a care package. And that will be held at the North Warren Presbyterian Church at 9 a.m. Saturday the 18th. And we're also doing Wreaths Across America. We've partnered with Wreaths Across America and St. Joseph Cemetery. And that we have 400 veterans' graves that we would like to put a wreath on. And their mission is to honor, remember, and teach. And St. Joe's Cemetery has been wonderful in allowing us to partner with them. And we need volunteers that day as well, because we have a lot of wreaths to lay.
How is the support from the community?
We are overwhelmed with support. Anytime there is a need for something, all we have to do is ask, and our community shows up for it.
And we're currently fundraising now for the Wreaths Across America. Currently, we have ordered 217 wreaths so far, towards our goal of 400. And we're hoping to get there. And so fundraising is going on right now. For that, we've reached out to the community through letters and face-to-face contact. And then we also have a raffle going on right now that is for the purpose of Wreaths Across America.
And how has the response been so far? Has it been pretty good?
Oh, yeah.
We're
Absolutely.
over halfway there.
Wow.
I checked yesterday our portal, And you can go online to Reese Across America, and you can go down to a specific organization and order online through that. And as I checked yesterday, we have 274 wreaths out of
Oh,
yes,
nice.
274 wreaths that have been ordered, including the ones that we have ordered. We ordered quite a few here recently, and so there's different programs through Wreaths Across America, and the one that we chose was you get, when you purchase 3 wreaths, you get a wreath free.
Okay.
So
Now, for something like that, how far in advance do you kind of have to prepare for it?
this was kind of a fly by the seat of our pants
Okay.
this year. We had reached out to multiple cemeteries, and St. Joe's was one that said, yes, let's do this. And they took it by the reins, and they have really been awesome. So what we have done is we partnered with them. I contacted Reese Across America. They got me set up, and we have just been trying to every day push Reese Across America.
How, and so much of what you do, I imagine, is so rewarding, but how rewarding is it seeing something like that come to fruition?
Sometimes there's not words for it. It's more emotional. It doesn't matter what event we're doing. We just recently did Military Appreciation Night, for example, at both Warren High School and at Eisenhower High School. And to see our veterans come out, to see the ceremony that went on and listen to it, it is extremely emotional. It's emotional for us, and it's emotional for them. It's just, there's sometimes not words, but always very gratifying.
And speaking about an event like that, do you get a positive response from a lot of the young people in the community?
Yes, we do. We really do. And back to Reese Across America, their mission is to remember the veterans and to honor the fallen and to teach the next generation. So we're hoping that we can help with that mission on continuing the education for our younger generations to respect our veterans and to understand their freedoms are because of them.
And speaking of an event like the care package, I know I've actually gone to one of those that you guys have done. And how, if people really want to get involved, how would you encourage them to go about doing so?
All they'd have to do is reach out to us. We have a list of items that are much needed for some of these remote places. If they can't purchase an item, we always need someone to come and help pack and set up and just volunteer their time as well.
We prepare for that all year long. So we receive donations from individuals. Some of the businesses in town contribute to supplies for our packing event. We do Truckload for Troops. That's also where we're gathering supplies for that packing event. So it's a kind of a year-long project that we work on specifically for that. This year we're sending more than we did the last time. Based on the world situation right now, we felt it was necessary to do the most that we could to support them. But it's a group effort, and always, like Skyla said, having volunteers come to the packing event, it doesn't have to cost you anything except maybe coming in and packing a box, and they fill out a card and they will write their name on the card about who packed it.
Yep.
And that will go to somebody that will appreciate it very much.
And I'd like to give a shout out to the Sheffield cheerleaders. They have done a collection for our packing event. And yes, and we have seen a picture, and they have gone above and beyond for such a small organization as a cheerleading squad. It's amazing.
Just out of curiosity, when you're putting these care packages together, what are some of the things that our military members need the most?
A lot of times they need hygiene products because
Okay.
sometimes they go to the BXs and they're sold out of certain things. They love snacks. We just had a request for watermelon Sour Patch Kids. So you can bet that the watermelon Sour Patch Kids were empty at Walmart. So they will be getting some of those. So, but they just want snacks. They need hygiene products. We send fun Christmas items into our packages. We do another package Christmas in July.
Okay.
So we also send like Rudolph noses, and we send games and just something to help boost their morale and to also let them know that they are remembered and that we are grateful for the sacrifices they're making for us.
Do you find yourselves, obviously, with everything going on in the world right now, are you guys ever busier at some times than others? Is this a more busy time with that going on and with the holidays as well?
I think we're busy all the time.
Yes.
I mean, it's an ongoing, because our goal is not just to fundraise, but it's to give back
Mhm.
to the community. So, we have events going on that are meant to be recognition of our veterans and our military, to be events to involve the public, to get our name out there and know what we're all about, to share in other events that are going on. Sometimes it's just about marching in a parade. It's just a matter of we plan a busy year. We budget for a busy year. So, we try to make ourselves available wherever we can.
And I'd also just like to step back for just a moment about the care packaging events. So, and the community. Family Dollar. I don't know if you've ever been into Family Dollar, but at the register, they'll ask if you'd like to purchase a candy bar for our military troops. And yes, they do go to our military troops deployed and local. And anyway, we have probably received over 8,000 candy bars in the time that they have started collecting. And those go into our care packages as well.
And I know you guys talk a lot about businesses getting involved. And how often is that? Do you find them reaching out to you quite a bit, or do you have to reach out to them? Or I know they're anxious to get involved.
I think it works both ways. The problem is businesses want to be benevolent, but they want to also share their budget that they've set aside for donations with other organizations that are reaching out as well. So they donate where they can. And that's why we send out the letters. We try to, ask where we can. And the businesses that are able do donate. And, there are some that, they've already donated to others, or they're at their end of their budget for the year. This time of year is a struggle because we're at the end of the year and, a lot of their budgets are depleted as far as donations go. So it becomes a little more challenged now versus the beginning of the year.
But once again, back to if they can't support financially, if they could spread the word, if they could hang a flyer at their business in support of whatever event that we're doing, that to me is also just as much help.
Another program I wanted to talk to you guys about because it's so visible in the community. I know the hometown hero banners. I live right in downtown Warren, and I get to see them like right as I go outside every day, and it's an amazing way to honor our current military members and veterans. Just talk to me a little bit, because I know a lot of work went into bringing that here.
So the hometown hero banners, when you go across different cities and little communities and you see them on the light post, it is just one of the most amazing things to see and to still know that they are still being recognized. So we wanted to bring that to Warren. And yes, it took a little effort, but it was the best effort that we could have done for them. And as you said, I come in at work in the morning time and all the street lights are lit up and all you can see are those laying, sitting up underneath those street lights. It just gives me actually chills to look at them and to know that they're not forgotten. And it has been, as Pam said, sometimes words just.
Mhm.
We have a
Describe it.
ceremony each time we have some new ones hung. We're not done with the project yet. There's more that will go up in the spring. And each event is, if you've ever been to one, which you have, Andy, you've been there. The For each flag, either the person themselves or family members talk about their loved one's service. And you can't help but feel emotionally touched by each story that you hear, about their tours of duty and what they sacrifice sometimes for us and for our country. And we have a lot of hometown heroes, and to walk through, it's fun to take a walk and actually look at the flags and read them and see who they are and realize that how many you know or you did or you knew of. Our own children are there. It's emotional to look at them driving across the bridge. When you're stopped at the end at the light and you're reading the flags that are up there, I think about that every single time I drive through town.
And last year they didn't put them back up in the same exact spot. And I kind of like that.
I like that, too.
Yes, because they all get to be seen a little differently.
Yeah.
And the stories that we hear are phenomenal and they're heartwarming and they are heartbreaking at times. One gentleman with his dog, he wanted that photo of his dog with him, of his working dog. And, that has really touched me and has stayed with me listening to his story as well.
And I know just being at the last event myself, you're listening to the stories. I'm overwhelmed with a sense of gratitude for our servicemen and women and what they've done. And Pam, I don't want to make you emotional, but your son, Josh, I went to school with him. No, he gave a very powerful speech there. It's so, it's heartwarming. It can be heartbreaking at times, but the sense I come away with every time is just an overwhelming sense of gratitude for everything that our servicemen and women do for us. And I think that's a lot of what you guys do is try and honor them and bring to light everything they've sacrificed for us. And so I just want to say, before I go any further, thank you for that, for all you guys do.
Thank you.
That was Skyla's dream to get that going, and it's been an ongoing effort. And like I said, each year, this was our second year, but there's flags that are already here that are going to go up in the spring because you can see that the flags have come down for the season right now. But there's more that have already been ordered and are here to go up in the spring, and there'll be another ceremony. I encourage the public to come to one of the ceremonies. It's just worth it to be there for that. But take a walking tour of our beautiful little town and just read some of those flags. It just is awesome.
And I do appreciate that the city has worked with us to be able to bring this to life and our dream come true with this.
Of course, our mayor, Dave Wortman, a veteran himself, and I know they've done a lot as well. And it's got to be helpful to have working with people who kind of share the same vision as you do.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, I understand there's something going on today as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. The YMCA is hosting the Be Well Warrior event today from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. And it allowed for different vendors from the community. I was down there setting up this morning. Blue Star Mothers is there, of course, but there's all different vendors. Rouse Home is there. Warren General Hospital has a table there. There's different people there, and it's really all in support of the military and the public. I think when they first advertised people may have thought it was just for the military
Mhm.
or the veterans, but it's for everybody to come down and walk through the event. And we have all kinds of literature. That's what the different organizations are there about is is support of our veterans. There is space set aside to go have private conversations if the veterans want to have conversations about maybe they have trouble with PTSD or they are having struggles with finances or housing or whatever. There's some way we can get them in contact with somebody. There's people there to help them, and that's really what it's about. And we were glad to be a part of that because that really supports our mission as well. But this is their event, and we thank the Y for hosting that. It's great for our community to do that.
Bringing more awareness.
Mhm. Is that something you find? Because I know, like, you guys are obviously aware of it, and someone like myself might be, but aware of maybe some of the challenges that our veterans face when they come home. And if people aren't, how can we make sure that they are?
Well, I think each case is different. I think more than ever, I think the awareness of what somebody in the military goes through is really starting to be put more out there. I think everybody is starting to now have programs about PTSD, things like that, that weren't always recognized before. But veterans, as they age, um, you know, depending on if they still have family available to support them or not, but as they age, they have this whole history to tell, and there's not always somebody to tell it to. So we have a nursing home project where we have our group of people that go into the nursing homes. They take things to them that they may need that they've requested, and they go in, they talk to them, they spend time with them. We have a group that goes to the VA out in Erie and supports them. And you find out what their needs are by talking to them. That's the most important thing. But I just think the public now is really starting to recognize that what sacrifices people made didn't end when they were discharged. They carried them through the rest of their life.
And I imagine, not to switch gears a little bit, but I imagine, you guys as Blue Star moms, not only you guys do a lot for our veterans, but I imagine you guys, you share a common bond. So I'm sure that's, what's that relationship like with all the other moms and just being there to support one another?
As I like to say, you find the best friends that you never knew you needed in this group. We have come together, we cry together, we laugh together, we hug, we support each other, and that is really what we created this program for, as well as the support for the military mom, because some days it's very hard.
Each meeting starts that we have, just in general, each meeting we go around the table, especially whether we have a new person or not, but we go around the table and we talk about what's going on. And for those of us that have had children deployed and what that means, or children about to deploy, and what they're doing in their military process. Somebody always has some words of encouragement, or they can share with us something that helps cope with that situation because they've been through it already.
Mhm.
Or like Skyla said, a hug. We have our own social media private page that we communicate on. Sometimes it's just a card in the mail that comes from the group or comes from somebody, or everybody shares that bond, that sense of fear sometimes, that apprehension, that sense of loss while they're gone. Um, and so there's strength in numbers.
We sometimes deal with deployments differently, but in the end, we're all there together to support each other and to pray for our children and to pray for each other.
And I think it was, I can't remember who said it, might have been Mayor Wortman, but talking about, how many military members, both active, and veterans that we have, per capita, just in this county, one county alone. It's it's over, I think he said it's one of the highest in the state. So I imagine, having that, support, but there's a lot of people, a lot of moms and that can relate, and that's got to be pretty powerful.
It absolutely is very powerful. And we did a little fundraiser called You've Been Flat. And it was amazing how many veterans we truly do have in this county that we never even really knew that we had in this county. So once again, they would come out, they would tell us stories, they would just thank us. Some of them cried because once again, they have never been recognized. And so that is one of our missions, is to be able to recognize all of our veterans.
And I think that's something too, especially, and it can be younger veterans. So I find a lot with older veterans that they want to talk, they want to share their stories. And I find myself, whenever I'm talking to them, just listening and just fascinated by the stories they tell. Just as you guys have talked about, and you're filled with gratitude. You're almost overwhelmed by their service and by their sacrifice.
Absolutely.
They tell the stories of things that most people just read about in the history books. That they tell the real stories, and to hear some of them, it's just amazing. And giving them the opportunity to talk can be very cathartic for them. Maybe nobody's listened to their stories. Maybe nobody. I always like to think that everybody has a story of some kind, and sometimes it's just waiting to be told. And so that's why we try to get out there and give that opportunity. And for them, it can be very cleansing, and for us that listen, very humbling.
I was going to say that's got to be incredibly rewarding for you guys.
Yes. One of the one of the veterans at our military appreciation night, he drove bus for the opposite team. And he had come over to us and said that he had never been recognized like we had recognized him before, and how nice that was. And we just don't want them to know that they're forgotten, because they're not.
And obviously, you guys do so much, but what can beyond that? What can someone do? Just simple gestures to kind of thank our veterans. What are some of the things that they can do?
One of the things is when you see a veteran with a hat on, thank them. Thank them for their service, because a lot of them have never been thanked for their service. To teach your children to honor them, and to teach them what freedom really is, and the sacrifices that our military member go through every day for them. That is one way.
I just think nursing homes are a good place to go talk to people. Sometimes nursing homes make people uncomfortable to go into, but all you have to do is get through the door. Get through the door. If you want to go talk to a veteran, they will be happy to point them out to you, and go have a conversation with them. Go to events like the YMCA is holding today. The public is certainly invited to that. As I said before, it wasn't just for military. And I think that going there and seeing what's available to veterans, I think will also give them ideas on how they can support them. And, we put a lot out on social media. Keep an eye on social media and see what you can do. And certainly, whatever creative ideas anybody may have, if they're uncomfortable doing them themselves, how about bringing them to our attention, and maybe that's something we could take and run with and help them if they're uncomfortable doing it out there.
And I was going to say, if you know of a shut-in that is a veteran and might need help and you might not be able to help them, reach out to us. We might, if we don't know the answer, we will find the answer for them.
Does that happen often? Do you find people reaching out, with ideas, things like that?
We do have people that will reach out with ideas and say, hey, have you ever thought about this, or have you ever thought about that? And we're always open to ideas and new things. We really are.
Mm-hmm. And well, I want to thank you guys so much for today, but I want to give you also a chance to plug one more time, everything you guys have coming up. So go right ahead.
We have our care packaging November 17th for set up in the evening at 6:00 at North Warren Presbyterian Church, and the care packing event on Saturday the 18th at 9 a.m. at North Warren Presbyterian Church. We have wreaths across America, rain, snow, sleet, or hail. It will go on no matter what the temperatures. And that is December 16th, and ceremony starts at noon. So we recommend that everybody get there. Bring organizations, bring your children. Let's get involved.
And the last thing I'm going to plug is towards Wreaths Across America. We are having a raffle right now that is going to support us trying to get the rest of those wreaths. And so it's out on social media. We are raffling off 36-inch 4-burner Blackstone griddle with utensils and a cleaning kit and a $200 gift certificate to Straight Off the Block Butcher Shop from Sheffield. $20 a ticket. Only 250 tickets are going to be sold, and that money is solely dedicated for Wreaths Across America.
Oh, well, that is so awesome. And Skyla, Pim, want to thank you so much
Thank you
for coming on today,
Thanks,
and
Andy.
I enjoyed it
Thank
very
you.
much. And I also want to give a shout out to White Cane Coffee. Don't forget that. Get on down here if you can for a coffee or a fresh baked good, and they got some delicious chicken pot pie soup brewing back there. So come on down and stop by if you get a chance. And don't forget, if you can change one life, you can change the world. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have you ever wanted to play an instrument? The Warren Music Conservatory is the area's only choice for premier music education, with the area's top music instructors giving you fun and exciting music lessons for a variety of instruments and styles. The Music Conservatory also rents and repairs instruments of all types. And don't forget to stop in and check out our student bookstore for your musical supplies like strings, sticks, picks, and more. What are you waiting for? Stop dreaming. Start doing today.
Know what would make that better? Cup of White Cane coffee.
Wow, that really is great coffee.
White Cane coffee, because every cup makes a difference.
It's not just about music lessons. It's about hard work, perseverance, dedication, self-expression, making memories. Let's make memories together.